Yeah. Now, the first we'll discuss about the persistence life cycle. Okay. Now, what is the mean by the persistence in the sense? Okay, the persistence in the sense like the data is going to be stored into the database. Okay. Now, then how the data is storing? Okay. Now, basically here, this ORM object relational mapping is providing like abstraction. Okay, this abstraction as a developer we should know. Okay, now that's where the persistence life cycle is providing how the data is going to be storing into the database. Okay. Now here we have different stages. We have different stages. We have new state, detached state, managed state, and removed state, and a database we have. Okay. Now in the new state, the data going to be okay, just the object is created. Okay, how in the sense now you see that, yeah, or suppose you can take like anything. Yeah, now for suppose in the 19th line we are creating object. Okay, now in the 19th line we are creating an object. Now in the new state, just a object is created. Okay, just a object is created. Now here, whenever the object is created, whenever I call the 21st line entity dot persist, okay, entity dot persist. Now it will enter into the manager state. Okay, it is enter into the manager state. Now after entering the manager state, it will not wait like so much too much time. Now it's going to be entering. It's going to be flushing into the database. Okay, now this dotted lines things we can call the manage context or persistence context. Okay, the persistence context area where the object are persisted. Okay, now if you want to remove it, okay, now from the database we need to fetch it into the manage state, and again we need to remove by using we know that like by using remove method. Okay, now even if you want to merge it, now again no, we need to fetch them from the database and we need to update it in the persistent context area. Now, what is the detached state? For suppose if you're not going to be removing and like updating, now just you fetch it from the database in the managed state. In the managed state, it's not waiting too much time. Okay, that's why immediately the persistent context, this dotted line is closing immediately. Okay, at that time the data is not going to be entered into database, or it's not going to be entered into the new state. Simply it's going to the detached state. Okay, whenever it is a detached state, if you want to persist again, simply like if you want to store and if you want to remove, if you want to update, simply we cannot do that. Okay, then how we can do that? Like if you want to persist again, if you want to use the same data whatever it is enter into the detached state, again you need to persist. Okay, then only it will enter into the managed data. Now you can fetch it to the database and you can insert it to the database, you can remove it. Okay, now this is about like a new state and a managed state and database and removed and detached state. Okay, now this thing is mostly useful for the interview point of view only. Okay, yeah. Next we will discuss about association. Okay, association and map. Now we have different types of associations. We have like one to one relation, okay, one to many, many to one, many to many. Okay, one to one, one to many, or many to many. Now, basically, here we have the two types of directions. Okay, in the real-time world, we have there are two types of directions are involved. The first one, unidirectional. Okay, now second one, bidirectional. Okay, unidirectional and the bidirectional. Okay, now within the unidirectional, now we have a one to one. Okay, one to one. Now one to many and many to one, or many to many. It is only one direction. What's the mean by like one direction, unidirectional and bidirectional? And what's the mean by like one to one and one to many? But suppose like one trainer, many trainees. Okay, as a trainer point of view, like one trainer, many trainees. From trainees point of view, many trainees, one trainer. Okay, one to many or many to one. Now, for suppose one person or one employee has a one address. Okay. Now, from employee point of view, one employee has a one permanent address. Okay, one permanent address. For suppose address point of view. Okay. Now, if you take like the both the direction, employee has a address and address has a one permanent address has a one employee. Okay. Now it is a both the direction. Now it is a only one direction. Now it's a one to one unidirectional. It is a one to one bidirectional. Both the directions we have. Okay. Now it is a only one direction. Now like this, it's only one direction. But the employee has an address. Okay, it's a one direction, and again address as a employee. Okay. Yeah. Then how we can create a this association means association in the sense like we are going to make a relation between the entities. Okay, now relationship between the entities. Okay, till now we created only one entity. Okay, that is the employee entity we created, only one entity we created. Okay, now we are going to create like one more entity, that is a address. Okay, you can create like now everything, whatever you want, like a user and profile, like accountant, a person. Okay, now everything, whatever you can create. We need to make the relation between them. That's it. Okay, here I'm going to take like that employee and address with the two entities. Okay, now if you observe here, now entity and entity. Now here student we have, address we have. Okay, you know that has a relation, right? Has a relation in the sense like one class has another class object. The student class has another class object. Okay, now it's called as a relation. Here we are going to make the relation between the two classes. Okay, this address class and object is present in the student class as a field. Okay, now observe carefully here. Student has a student ID, student name. Okay, now the student has one permanent address. The relation between the student and the address is a one to one. Okay, one to one. Okay, it's only one direction. See here, in the address class, we don't have any employee. Okay, it's only one direction is involved, unidirectional flow. Okay, now if it is a bidirectional one to one, student has a address and address has a student. Okay, like that also we have. Okay, then how we can create the two entities? Okay, now observable here, exactly the same methods and the same logic without changes anything. Okay, the thing is what only we need to apply the relation, that's it. That's only the main reason here, the association. Okay, yeah. Now up to whatever we learn the up to JPQL and JPA basic, everything is the same here also, but only extra entity we are going to create it. Okay, now observe carefully here. Now here we have like around 6 7 we have, but I'm going to explain only one and two. Okay, that's it. The remaining things I'm going to share the solutions also, you can observe it. Now first we need to add jar files, build path, configure build path, add external jars, go to JPA, select all, okay. Add external jars, go back. Now add my SQL connector. Okay, apply and close. The next thing we need to create the packages. Now under right click on SRC, new, and create the package. The package name is like com.demo. Okay, now here what we need to create, like here we are going to make the relation between the two entities, right? Now we need to create first entity, that is the employee entity. Okay, now right click, go to the new and the class, that is one more address entity, and again one more class. Now we need to make the client, now new, and the class is client. Okay, now again one more thing we need to create. What, any idea? That is meta inf to provide the database and hibernate details. And right click on SRC, new, and folder like a meta inf. Okay, now right click on the folder, new, other, select XML, click on the next. The file name is persistence.xml. Okay, now, okay, this XML you can add from anywhere. Now to take that, where is our previous things? Yeah, if you observe, in the earlier we have only one class, right? In the earlier we have only one class, but here right now we have the two classes. We need to provide one more class information. It's address. Okay, now first every time we need to create only. Yeah, now the database is correct. Yes, 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 everything is okay. Yeah, done. Here I can use like some kit. Now go back and go to the employee first or address first. Yeah, now in the address, the thing is what, private int house number. Okay, now private string colony. Now private int sorry, it's not int, string state. Now we have a private int pin code. Okay, now right click, go to the source, generate getters and setters. Now select all, generate it. Now we need just simply here the default constructor is enough. Now again, if you want to create the table, now we need the two mandatory annotations. What is that? Now at the rate entity and at the rate house number, sorry, at the rate ID we need to create it. Control shift to import the package of file, done. Okay, now here I'm going to write, I'm going to create the table name. That's better. Table. Now the name is equal to 1 to 1 address. Okay, 1 to 1 address. Now go to the employee. Okay, in the employee, now we have a private int emp id. Okay, now private string emp name. Okay, private int emp salary. Now, yeah, that's it. Okay, now we need to create like employee entity also, right? Like entity. I can create like other table also. Now other table name is equal to simply here 1 to 1. Sorry, 1 to 1 em. Done. Now on the employee ID, we need to create like ID. Control shift to import the package. Yeah, we need to make the relation, right? Okay, now it is a unidirectional, okay, involved 1 to 1. Okay, unidirectional 1 to 1. Now employee has address class. Now private address. Okay. Above the address, we need to make the relation. What is the relation? At the rate one-to-one annotation. Okay. Now one more thing here we have some cascade. Okay. Cascade is equal to cascade type dot. Here we have all, detach, merge, persist, refresh, remove. Okay. Observe carefully. Basically, the cascade is an optional. Okay. Cascade is an optional. Now, why we are using them? Observe carefully here. Here we have a employee has the relation one to one. Okay, means this employee is a parent right now. Okay, observe carefully here. Okay, EMP is a parent. Now, address is the child. Okay, for suppose if I inserted that, if I want to insert, like we need to create the two tables, right? Address table and the employee table. We need to create the two tables. Okay, if you want to create the two tables, we need to insert the data in the two tables. Now, if you want to insert it, like we need to use emp.persist and address.persist we need to use. ఓకే, రెండు పర్సిస్ట్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే ఇది రెండు చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఒక పేరెంట్ని ఒకదాన్ని చేసేస్తే ఆటోమేటిక్గా చైల్డ్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, ద కాన్సెప్ట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఓకే కేస్కేడ్. కేస్కేడ్ టైప్స్ హియర్. కేస్కేడ్ టైప్ ఆల్ అంటే ఏంటి? పేరెంట్ పర్సిస్ట్ అవుతే ఆటోమేటిక్ చైల్డ్ పర్సిస్ట్. పేరెంట్ అప్డేట్ అయితే చైల్డ్ అప్డేట్ అవుతుంది. పేరెంట్ డిలీట్ అయిపోతే చైల్డ్ కూడా డిలీట్ అయిపోతుంది. ఫర్ సపోజ్ if you want to only one operation persist only, అంటే పేరెంట్ సేవ్ అయితే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా చైల్డ్ కూడా ఇన్సర్ట్ అయిపోవాలి. దట్స్ ఓన్లీ వన్ పాయింట్. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ యూ కెన్ డూ ద పర్సిస్ట్, దట్స్ ఇట్. ఓకే, now but I want to do like all the operations, that's why I can go with the all. Okay, yeah. Now right click, now go to the source, generate citizen status, now select all, generate it. Now just a default control space, default control s. Okay, now go to the client. Now here main method. Now we know that like the two lines of code, right? Okay, the two lines in the sense yeah, persistence dot create entity manager factory. Now here we can write like Kirti. Okay, this create entity manager factory method is return type is like entity manager factory. Okay, now the factory. Now here by using factory dot create entity manager. Okay, this method is return type is entity manager interface. Now entity. Okay, now the thing is what first we need to write the transactions. Now entity dot get a transaction dot begin the transaction, and entity dot get a transaction dot commit. Okay, here only we are going to do that operations. Now simple, first we need to insert. Now first we need to create, like every time we need to insert that child data. Now address add is equal to new address. Okay, now add dot set colony. Now or first I can set that house number. Just give a minute. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, Anna.
Yeah. Now we can set the house number something like 567 and id dot set colony. Saraswati Nagar. Dot set state like so RR. Add dot set pin code. Uh, okay, address is added. Okay, now go to the employee. Employee EMP is equal to new employee. Okay, now here we need to add that employee data. Now EMP dot set EMP ID standard. Okay, we can set the EMP ID like automatically. You know that. Now EMP dot set EMP name. EMP dot set EMP salary. Okay, now here we inserted like 3 records, but we have the 4, right? If you observe, go to the employee, we have the 4, 1, 2, 3, and one more thing, address also we have. Okay, now whatever the address we created, this address object అంటే ఏంటి, ఈ డాటా మొత్తం ఎక్కడ స్టోర్ అయిపోయింది, ఈ అడ్రస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లోనే కదా. Now in this employee dot set address at, that's it. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు డాటా అనేది మనం డేటాబేస్ ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలి. ఎలా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేస్తాం బేసిక్ అంటే ఎంటిటీ డాట్ పర్సిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఏడిడి. నా ఎంటిటీ డాట్ పర్సిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ టిఎంపి. ఓకే, బేసిక్ అయితే ఇది ప్రాసెస్. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ ఈ 27 లైన్ నేను ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయట్లేదు. ఎందుకు అంటే నా వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఆల్రెడీ ద కేస్కేడ్ ఆప్షన్స్. ఓకే, cascade in the sense like the employee is persisted, automatically the address also persisted. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు బేసిక్ గా ఇలా పర్సిస్ట్ చేస్తే, ఒకటే లైన్ పర్సిస్ట్ చేస్తే ఏంటి, ఎంప్లాయీ ఒకటే పర్సిస్ట్ అవ్వాలి. ఇప్పుడు మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే అవుట్పుట్ టేబుల్ కూడా అంటే అడ్రస్ కూడా పర్సిస్ట్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, బికాస్ ఆఫ్ cascade options. Observe carefully here. Did we miss anything? Yeah, go to the client and right click on a Java application. If you observe here, the 2 tables are going to be created. See here, do you observe? Address table is created, employee table is created, but I persisted only one. Okay, I persisted only one. Okay, that is the point. Okay, if the parent is persisted, automatically child is persisted. If the parent is deleted, child also child also deleted, like that. Okay, it is a persisted. Okay, the data is inserted. I want to see the data, it's a storing or not. I want to fetch it. Okay, go to that immediately personal.xml. Now change create to update first. Control S. Now go to the client, and again, if you want to fetch the data, now fetching data from database. I don't want to open the database right now. Okay, I'm directly fetching that from the data. Now entity dot like what we can use, what find method. Okay, find of employee dot class, and again emp dot get emp id. అంటే now if you observe, the 2 like tables are linking with each other. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఏదైతే ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడి ఉందో, ఈ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ ఈ ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడికి అడ్రస్ అనేది మ్యాచ్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, మీకు ఈ ఫెచ్ చేసాక లాస్ట్ కు మీకు డేటాబేస్ ఓపెన్ చేసి చూపిస్తాను డాటా ఎలా ఉంది. ఓకే, నౌ దిస్ ఫైండ్ మెథడ్ ఈస్ రిటర్న్ టైప్ ఈస్ ఎంప్లాయీ or employee fetch emp. Okay, now by using this fetch emp, now we can fetch the data, not only employee, we can fetch the address also. See here, now SYSO, now employee id, fetch employee dot get emp id. employee name, employee salary, employee house number, employee colony, employee state, and employee pin code. Salary, house number, colony, state. ఇది అబ్జర్వ్, ఈ ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడికి అంటే నేను గెట్ చేసిన ఎంప్లాయీ ఐడిని గెట్ చేసి ఆ వచ్చిన డాటాని ఫెచ్ లో అంటే మొత్తం స్టోర్ అయిపోయింది. కానీ బేసిక్గా రావాల్సింది ఏంది మనకు ఓన్లీ ఎంప్లాయీ డాటానే, కానీ ఇక్కడ అంతా డాటా వచ్చిందంటే బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద కేస్కేడ్ విత్ 1-to-1 annotation. Okay, now get employee name, right? Now fetch employee dot get employee name dot get employee salary. Where is that? Okay, now here we can use some small tab. It's better.
అన్నా
ఆటో బుక్ చేస్తావా?
డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయిందా అన్న?
నెట్ అయిపోయింది.
నాకు ఆ రిజల్ట్ చూపించినంత వరకు వచ్చిందన్న. లైక్ మనకు 2 టేబుల్స్ చూపెట్టి క్వశ్చన్ మార్క్స్ వచ్చినాయి కదా, అక్కడ వరకు వచ్చింది. తర్వాత ఇంకేం పోయింది.
ఓకే, ఇక్కడ
అదే 2 టేబుల్స్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ అవుట్పుట్ వచ్చింది కదా, ఇంతకు ముందు ఓన్లీ 2
ఓకే, ఓకే.
టేబుల్స్
యా 2 టేబుల్స్ ఇన్సర్ట్ అయిపోయి తర్వాత మనం డాటా ఫెచ్ చేయాలి కదా, అప్పుడు ఏం చేసామంటే ఎంటిటీ డాట్ ఫైండ్ మెథడ్ యూజ్ చేసి ఎంప్లాయీ డాట్ క్లాస్ అండ్ ఎంప్లాయీ యొక్క ఐడి బేస్ చేసుకొని ఈ డాటా మొత్తం ఫెచ్ ఎంప్లాయీ ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ స్టోర్ అయిపోతుంది. ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ యూజ్ చేసి మనం గెట్ ఎంపీ ఐడి, గెట్ ఎంపీ నేమ్, గెట్ ఎంపీ సాలరీ ఫెచ్ చేస్తాం. మరి అడ్రస్ ఎలా ఫెచ్ అవుతుందంటే ఫెచ్ ఈఎంపీలో ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్కి వెళ్ళేసి ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్లో గెట్ అడ్రస్, అందులో గెట్ అడ్రస్ మళ్ళీ గెట్ హౌస్ నెంబర్కి వెళ్తాం. ఓకే, ఇది ఒకటి చూపిస్తాం మీకు చూడండి. ఓకే, ఫెచ్ ఎంపీ డాట్ ఇక్కడ చూడండి గెట్ ఎంపీ నేమ్, గెట్ ఎంపీ సాలరీ, గెట్ అడ్రస్. కానీ మనం గెట్ చేయాల్సింది హౌస్ నెంబర్ కదా. మరి హౌస్ నెంబర్ ఎక్కడ ఉంది? అడ్రస్ లో ఉంటుంది. నా గెట్ అడ్రస్ కరెక్ట్ డాట్ గెట్ హౌస్ నెంబర్. ఓకే, నా అగైన్ గెట్ అడ్రస్ డాట్ గెట్ కాలనీ. ఓకే, డాట్ get address dot get state. Now dot get address dot get pin code. That's it. Now right click, run as Java application. Now we got the entire output. Okay, now for this 100 employee, now we have the data. Okay, now if we want to update it, okay, now if we want to update it, now what we are going to do that? Now which data if you want to update? I want to update like both the data. Okay, if you want to update the data, now here address add1 is equal to new, or simply here entity dot find of address dot class and entity dot get house number. Okay, based on this house number you want to update it. Now simply add1 dot set colony. Okay, now there. Okay, stick it a minute. Auto now. Yeah. Now we need to set the address. Now add1 dot set pin code. For suppose only I want to change these things only. Now again employee also. For suppose emp dot set emp name. Now these things only I want to update. Okay. After updating the data, now entity dot we can use a merge method. Entity dot merge of emp. Okay, now right click, run as Java application. Now here update employee, but why it's not updated address? Okay, now we need to update address also, right? Now emp dot set address add1. Okay, now right click, run as Java application. Address is updated. Just here. We need to update the two tables are updating. Now That colony, okay. Fetch, okay, sorry. Now, which employee data we need to fetch employee data need to be updated, right? Sorry. Now, right click, run as Java application. To fetch EMP. Why it's not updating? Okay. Now I want to fetch it again. Right click. Okay, already updated, I think, right? That updated data we got already. See here. The pin code and Navodaya I changed earlier. Okay, the Kirti also. The name Kirti 90,000. Now the is updated. Okay. Now simply if you want to delete it, simply we can use entity dot remove method remove of fetch EM. Okay. Now right click and as Java application. The data is deleted from the database. See here. Two tables are deleted. Okay. Two tables are deleted. Okay. Now like that, one to one it is a unidirectional. ఓకే ఇప్పుడు బోత్ ద డైరెక్షన్ అంటే ఏంటి అంటే బోత్ అడ్రస్ క్లాస్ లో కూడా మనం ఏంటి అంటే ఎంప్లాయీ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే నా ఇలా ప్రైవేట్ ఎంప్లాయీ colon above this employee class we can use one to one, and here it is a mapped by address. Okay, the same thing like cascade type optional dot all అంతే. మళ్ళీ అడ్రస్ క్లాస్ లో మళ్ళీ ఎంప్లాయీ వచ్చేసాడు. ఓకే రెండింటికి ఇందులో ఎవరిని పర్సిస్ట్ చేస్తే ఆటోమేటిక్ ఇంకో పర్సన్ పర్సిస్ట్ అయిపోతాడు అనమాట. ఓకే అప్డేట్ అయిపోతాడు, డిలీట్ అయిపోతాడు, ఫెచ్ అయిపోతాడు. ఓకే వీ కెన్ డూ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. Okay, based on this example, okay, you can complete like remaining all these things, but even though I will share that examples and solutions.